Today is the beginning of a new era, Cruz.
Oh, really? What kind of era, Vance?
An era that has not been seen since the days of WCW.
Go on.
Cruz, we have a major news story.
I believe that this is some major news, Vance. Should we tell everybody that's listening and or watching right now?
That's so confused.
Big story, major story is, Vance.
Huge story, biggest story in 35 years of pro wrestling. Probably, it's huge. So we got Cody, we got the Young Bucks, we got Hangman Page, we got Joey Janela, we got fucking SCU, we got Neville, Pac, and they signed Chris Jericho.
Oh, shit.
Uncle Vinny has some competition.
Oh, yeah.
Are you excited, Cruz?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. And, you know, speaking of Chris Jericho, can I just rewind to something that happened on last week's episode, Vance?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were talking about Zelina Vega and married to Aleister Black, and how you said, and I quote, we'll just replay it right here.
Can you imagine he's on the bed and she's like, okay, I'm going to practice. And he's like, okay. And they're in their bedroom doing hard Karanas. That's my ideal relationship.
Hell yeah. How you said that's your dream relationship goals of being to just, laying in bed with your partner and then hey, let's fucking wrestle real quick. Do you want to know what my boyfriend did to me?
Is it for this kind of podcast, Cruz?
No. It just cracked me up so bad when you made that comment, because we're just hanging out, whatever. I don't know. I think we might have even been watching TV or something. And he put me in a fucking lion tamer, dude, and made me tap within seconds.
That hurts.
The lion tamer.
That is a painful move.
By Chris Jericho. Anyways, I just thought that was really funny.
So it was the lion tamer and not the walls of Jericho.
No. It was the lion tamer. He was all because sometimes we like to fuck around, and he put her in a lion tamer, and he put me in a fucking lion tamer, and I tapped. I was like, okay, I tapped. Jesus Christ.
Wow. What'd you get? Did you go for the small package?
That just reminded me of the conversation that we had on last week's episode of hashtag relationship goals. Man. Makes me wonder if real life wrestling couples actually do that.
They must. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are fucking. He's like, hey, Brie, let me, can I just try some submission moves on you? He does that.
Oh, for sure. For sure does that.
And I'm sure Cena, when he was with Nikki Bella, used to keep her in a cage anyway. So there was that. So, Cruz, let's jump over to the other guys. We're talking about the WWE this week.
Yes.
In completely less exciting news, we had another match with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title. This one was actually a good match. I like this match. Did you watch this match?
Oh yeah, the one where it's what were the terms?
Falls count anywhere.
Falls count anywhere. So they took it backstage. It was funny because they went to commercial and they showed a picture of Disney World and Universal Studios in Orlando saying, this means it could happen anywhere. Where will this fight end up? I'm on top of Space Mountain? I don't fucking know. Anyways.
Dude, do you remember, I forget what WrestleMania it was, but it was Roddy Piper versus Goldust in a Hollywood backlot brawl. And they jumped in cars. And Goldust jumped into this gold car, and Roddy Piper jumped into a white Bronco. And they were showing.
I remember this actually.
They were showing OJ footage of the white Bronco racing through the streets, saying it's Roddy Piper chasing Goldust.
Oh my god!
You remember this? It was WrestleMania.
The 90s, man.
Dude, that was That was when fucking wrestling was wrestling. I feel like AEW, I keep going back to it, is going to keep that cool storyline shit going. Did you hear the offers they turned down from WWE?
Okay. I mean, there was a couple of rumors. Why don't you go over them right now, Vance?
So the Bucks got offered AJ Styles money. Okay.
Woo!
They got offered to put Being the Elite on the WWE network as a weekly show.
Dang.
And they had plans for them to show up in the Rumble and have a Rumble through WrestleMania storyline, as well as they put in their contract a 3-month out. So if they don't like the wings are going, they can leave.
Dang, and they turned it down.
And they turned it down.
They turned it down. Holy shit, dude.
So I'm super excited for AEW.
I'm pretty excited.
So much pyro at that rally.
Now let me ask you this, Vance. I mean, we did ask the going over universes question, and we'll get to that, later on towards the end of the show. What do you think is going to happen with Kenny Omega?
I think he's going to go to AEW.
I think so too.
I think that he can't say anything until February 1st.
I don't think that he would go to WWE like that. I don't even think, honestly, thinking about it, I feel like even if Vince McMahon backed a truckload of money, was like, come on, Kenny Omega, come on, you know what I mean? I feel like he still wouldn't take that. I mean, and just like you said just now.
He's been really quiet about everything. I mean, I think it would be really cool if he showed up at the Rumble, but I don't think he can until his contract's up February 1st.
Well, yeah, because the Rumble's on the 27th. So even if that were the case, and he is considering it, then he couldn't even do that. So
I mean, if they're offering that kind of deal to the Bucks, imagine what they offer Kenny Omega. Like just what
about people leaving WWE to go to AEW?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I got a feeling Dolph Ziggler is going to end up in AEW.
Okay, go on.
I feel like he's at the point in his career where he wants to be Chris Jericho, where he's now just the older guy that they're using to put over other guys, and he's fucking done with it.
Drew McIntyre.
Where he shows up. Yeah, and you know what? The way AEW would succeed is if they have that Scott Hall showing up on Nitro moment. They need to have on their first show, which, by the way, they said they're talking to 2 major cable networks. Cable networks. And that's the reason Chris Jericho got involved. He goes, the TV deals that these guys can get, that's the reason I want to go with them, because they're not going to be on fucking Pop TV, okay? Or the National Geographic Network. Where the fuck Impact's on. And Impact is stuck with that. But these guys could get like a fucking, could you imagine them on a TNT? Yeah,
Dynamite.
Well, they said that Tuesday Night Dynamite is probably not going to be the show they're going to go with, but it will be a 2-hour live show every week.
That's fucking amaze balls, dude. So
as far as like who I could see jumping from WWE to them, I could definitely see Dolph Ziggler. Absolutely. Maybe Shinsuke.
I was going to say, because of how Shinsuke is being treated right now, if I were him, I'd be like, sayonara.
See, you can say that. I can't do that.
I was gonna say I'm allowed to do that.
I like what he's doing though. I like how he's like this heartless son of a bitch towards Rusev. He's like, I fucking hit Lana and I don't care. Like, that's great. And now Rusev isn't like this brute anymore. He's like, you hurt my woman. I don't know what that accent was.
I don't know. I just like that one bit where Shinsuke showed like a string of videos of Rusev on that whatever that fucking reality show. I don't watch that shit. The reality shows,
Total Divas,
or whatever the fuck. Yeah, where it's showing Rusev in a different light, and he's like, "Oh, you think that I am this? Well, look at this. I should be afraid of this." You know what I mean?
I thought. Should we just talk about the week? Let's just talk about Raw and SmackDown.
Let's just talk about Raw and SmackDown, and then we'll get into more about AEW towards the end there.
Well, let's talk about one more rumor that's going around. Okay. And that is about a certain freak named Lars Sullivan. and how this guy was backstage at Raw on Monday, and he was going to have a dark match, and he had a panic attack and had to be sent home.
Wait a minute. Where did you get this information from, Vance?
This is from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
How am I just now hearing about this right now?
Yeah. But here's the thing. They want a program with Lars Sullivan and John Cena for WrestleMania, which means Cena is going to put this guy over his first match. He has to. So imagine the plans they have for fucking Lars Sullivan.
Right. Damn. Wait, so he had a panic attack.
Yep. And I guess since the whole Mauro Ranallo thing, they're a lot more sympathetic to the cause of shit like that. Any kind of mental issues.
Wow.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Lars Sullivan and John Cena.
Lars Sullivan and John Cena.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, wait, rewind real quick. You said that he was supposed to do a what now? That he was on
his first dark match on the main roster on Monday. And he got sent home because he had a panic attack.
Dang, dude. Dang.
But the plan is for him to fight John Cena at WrestleMania. That's the speculative plans.
Fucking hell, dude. I mean, you can't to come from, well, okay, so technically, so this is at WrestleMania, right? You said that he's supposed to fight John Cena at WrestleMania.
Right.
So in between now and then, is he supposed to go on Raw? Like, what's the whole story behind this?
I mean, he didn't go into detail of what exactly his plan is or the storyline leading up to it. The tentative match for WrestleMania is John Cena versus Lars Sullivan.
That's insane. This is the first time I'm hearing this. I don't know why this is the first time. How?
I just read this. Like 2 minutes before we went on air.
Oh, well then, son of a bitch.
But also on Raw, we had our favorite tag team, the Revival, get beat again.
Did you see what they were wearing on their fucking pants, Vance?
I did, Cruz.
Do you think that the Revival is gonna...
I think the Revival could end up in AEW.
You think they can walk? Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, this was a great match. I think that those four guys can put on like an amazing match.
It was a lumberjack match, wasn't it? It was
pointless. That was stupid.
I felt like, okay, this is what I felt like. I felt like they chose to do it that way because, let's just put a bunch of bodies around the fucking ring. Let's just showcase more people unnecessarily. They just want to show
they have a tag division still.
Like, oh, look, there's a lot of tag divisions, factions here on Monday Night Raw. It's so fucking pointless. You get the B team who you never see ever. Bunch of other, it was just fucking pointless. But who did they fight again? It was the Revival versus
Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
That's right.
And why aren't they called Rude, Willing, and Gable? Like, that's a great tag name.
Rude, Willing, and Gable.
Yeah.
You just come up with that yourself.
Vince. But no, I really like this match. It's a great match. I hope that they have a regular match, like a straight up match at Royal Rumble, because I think these guys are amazing. The four of them in the ring are amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go through our predictions for Royal Rumble in the next episode. But what else happened on Raw? I feel like nothing else really notable happened.
Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins. I guess that's gonna be a feud now. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna have Seth beat Bobby Lashley and show that and build him up towards, I'm hoping, taking on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Ooh la la. You know what? I'm really happy that's not happening anymore. I just mentioned this little tidbit of information. Really happy that Bobby Lashley is no longer doing that pose that's really fucking unnecessary.
The ass pose?
Yeah!
You mean the booty pose?
Where he literally bends over and looks like he's about to spread his ass cheeks. Like, okay, dude.
Okay, Cruz. But if that was a girl twerking, no harm, no foul. But because he's a giant black man, he can't put his ass out there.
Don't turn this around on me.
Cruz, you trying to make Raw great again?
Listen, I think we can all agree here. I want to be a serious. I think we can all agree here that if Sasha Banks came out and did the same pose, I'd be all about it. So I guess in a way, I am.
How about Mandy Rose? My favorite. If she came out and spread her ass cheeks, I would probably start going to live events
Mandy again. Rose, God's greatest creation. Did you not see that whole stunt with her towel? Okay, come on. All right, so we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, we'll talk about SmackDown. But anything else on Raw? Oh, yeah, Brock Lesnar came out, walked around the ring.
No, this is what happened. Well, I mean, okay, first of all, Braun did another terrible fucking promo. No, what about that shit with Alexa Bliss's talk show? Unnecessary, by the way. And Nia Jax and Sasha Banks fight. Did you not notice in the ring that Sasha was trying to do a Hurricane Rana and then like...
Oh, my God.
That really... That
wasn't Sasha's fault.
No, it was not Sasha's fault at all. Like Nia was all
that
like,
was
I'm just gonna pretend like I hit the fucking ropes or something.
It's terrible. Nia Jax should go to AEW. Nia Jax should just go away. Anywhere but here.
All right, let's get into SmackDown because I want to jump into one of the greatest promos I've ever fucking seen.
Best promo of 2019.
Just gonna jump right into it, because I like to make fun of Daniel Bryan for looking like, the dude and Jesus having a baby and it being Daniel Bryan.
He looks like one of those guys who would sit in the park for Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, with his fucking goddamn his sweaters, his like
his fucking Salvation Army clothes,
his Mr. Rogers sweaters, or whatever. Like, but he looks like the dude, so it's like, hey man, that fucking belt, if it was vegan, it would look really great, dude. Anyways, that promo, Vance.
Let's talk about that promo.
How he was like in the arena talking shit. He threw a hot dog at somebody, Vance. He threw a hot dog. He threw a wiener at somebody, Vance.
I like the people they picked for this promo because they were all Samoan for some reason. Like, could you just have a couple of like white guys down there? You got to have it was like the Usos family showed up and decided, hey, we want to be on SmackDown. Like, okay, well, we can throw a soda and a hot dog at you. And they're like, what? And they're like, okay, we're going to do that.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But I love this whole thing where he's fucking such a hippie and he's all about the planet and fucking AJ Styles. He doesn't have any merchandise anymore because it's not biodegradable. It's amazing. I'm so good. He's yelling at that guy, calling him fickle.
It's not legit until his belt becomes vegan friendly.
I know. He needs to have some kind of sustainable material.
Right now, I'm waiting for someone to talk shit to him like, hey, Brian, I don't think your belt that you're, parading around in is eco-friendly. So
I know. It'd be great if he came out with a trash belt. A belt made of recycled goods.
Yeah, like, this is made from a Coke can. I just, mashed it together to make the, what I mean?
Vegan leather.
The straps is made from vegan leather. No animals were harmed in the making of this belt. They cut to backstage in like a workshop of people like, this is how we make Daniel Bryan's like custom belt. You know what I mean?
That would be great. Like he's this guy trying to save the planet, but he has a sweatshop to make his belt.
There's like Asian people back there, like
Jinder Mahal's yelling at people. Jinder's his fucking manager there in the sweatshop.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We don't have time for soccer balls. We're making the belt for Mr. Daniel.
Oh my god!
This is a sweatshop filled with kids you know, like R. Kelly's age. And they're all making Daniel Bryan's fucking biodegradable belts.
Oh my god.
But let's
So
talk about something amazing on SmackDown. And that is, dude, one of my favorite matches I've seen this year. And it was fucking Rey Mysterio, Andrade Cien Almas, Mustafa Ali.
my
all in one
God.
fucking ring. Dude, are you kidding me?
that was a pretty solid match in my
It was
opinion.
tranquilo.
Tranquilo.
Tranquilo?
Tranquilo.
What does that even mean?
Tranquilo. Like tranquil?
Does it really mean tranquil? Because I thought it meant tranquil cruise. But that's just because there's an O at the end of tranquil.
Because what are you, racist, Vance? Or anytime if something says there's an O at the end of a word in Spanish, automatically it's the word without that in. Okay.
Well, I mean, it works for amigo because he's an amig in American.
It means
no, because the reason I ask is because Andrade was on Instagram and said this will be the year of tranquilo.
Well, it's funny because tranquilo in Espanol in Inglés means quiet.
The year of quiet. That doesn't make any fucking
like tranquil, you know?
So it does mean tranquil.
Yeah, tranquilo.
So we were right. We're right, Cruz. We're always right.
Maybe.
But yeah, I love what they're doing with Almas. I love what they're doing with Mustafa Ali.
I mean, okay, Mustafa is getting everybody's all about it, right? Mustafa, great. Andrade, like finally getting the recognition that he deserves, in my opinion, because for a while they were just kind of like burying him slightly, and then they were throwing him in some random tag matches. But this tag match, should we just talk about the ending there? Because Andrade, 100. You know what 100 means, right?
100 means 100.
100.
100.
He fucking killed it, dude. Like finally. You know what I'm saying? And the chemistry between him and Rey Mysterio too, by the way, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, all of them as a whole. Like, who is his partner? Wow. Samoa Joe?
Samoa Joe Joey held it in there.
Nah, I can't stand that motherfucker.
You hate Samoa Joey.
I hate Samoa Joey, but only because of what you told me. So it just makes me hate him even more.
Well, he's a dick. That's why. He's just a dick.
He's a fucking dick.
But
so
I don't know. I think he's gotten a little bit better.
Oh,
he's just not a badass anymore.
Lately? No, I'm just kidding.
Samoa Joe, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. No, but I thought SmackDown is just firing all cylinders. You had the Usos.
Yes, and that whole thing with
my favorite, Mandy Rose. Although here's my bone to pick. All right, here's what really grinds my gears.
I want to get into that too. So go ahead.
If that was Trish Stratus back in the Attitude Era, she would not be wearing her ring gear under the towel.
Hell no. Go on.
No. She would go out in a body thong thing. You know more about this than I do, but I would imagine she'd be in a clear thong, a flesh colored thong.
Go on.
And maybe topless. Trish didn't give a fuck. She still doesn't. Topless is where it's at. But Mandy going out there with the ring gear under the towel, I was a little. I was like, this is a little too Val Venus for me.
I don't know. How do you feel about this fucking storyline, though? I feel like
this is Vince's go-to for every blonde he ever hires. Stacy Keibler went through it. Trish went through it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just kind of like a tired old thing. And then like, oh, we're fighting over a man.
Well, I'm glad they're pushing her.
If you want to call it that. I mean, she didn't even fight Naomi last week. It was Sonya Deville that fought her, remember?
That's true.
And it's like the bone to pick is between Naomi and why am I blanking on her name? Mandy. It's Mandy and Naomi. But last week, what happened? It was Sonya versus Naomi, and then.
Well, I think it's leading up to Royal Rumble. They're building a storyline. It's going to blow off at the Royal Rumble.
Well, let's talk about this real quick because
on the pre-show.
I think it's a safe bet to say that. Yeah, and that's also true. I think it's a safe bet to say that it's the women that kind of rule SmackDown, in my opinion, right now.
Dude,
currently,
they have ended the show the last 6 weeks
with fucking
with Becky Lynch at the end.
The ladies, yes. And what fucking happened here? Let's talk about this real quick because now I'm curious to what's going to happen at Royal Rumble. Okay. So they ended up having a triple threat match between Carmella, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, and the man, Becky Lynch, right?
Yep.
And the winner is to face Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship at the Rumble.
Correct.
And who fucking won, Vance? Who won this triple threat match?
Well, the man won.
Exactly.
The man won.
So now what do you think is going to happen? I know we're going to talk about our predictions and all that, next week.
Yes.
But what do you think? Where do you think they're going to go with this? Because everyone keeps saying, okay, yeah, Becky, do you think that Becky's going to lose to Asuka at Royal Rumble and then jump in to the Rumble, enter the Rumble match, and then win, and then
challenge Ronda?
Challenge Ronda at WrestleMania?
I think there's going to be some kind of fuckery in the Asuka Becky Lynch match where Becky loses, and then maybe Becky gets injured midway through, and they do that whole underdog thing where Becky gets injured, she goes down, she has to forfeit the match, but then number 30 is supposed to come out, and it's Carmella. Carmella's on the floor somewhere, and Becky comes out and wins the fucking Rumble. That's my prediction. And she challenges Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
That is quite the prediction there, Vance.
Fuck it, Vince. But wait, can we talk about something real quick? I know we're diverting, but here's the thing. I want to talk about Carmella.
If there's anything we're good at, it's diverting, right? So go on.
Well, yeah. That's when two people with ADHD combine. This is what happens. So, Carmella, Big Cass, Enzo Amore.
Oh, boy.
All signed to WWE. Which ones do you think would be most successful if I asked you 2 years ago?
Wait, 2 years ago between Enzo, Carmella, and Big Cass?
Enzo, Carmella, Big Cass. Obviously, Enzo and Cass, right?
Yes, absolutely.
They were the most over tag team in NXT. They were easily over on the main roster, and then they decided to break them up, and all hell broke loose. And Carmella came on board.
Enzo's going to go to AEW. Sorry, what?
I bet Enzo would go in AEW.
Yeah. Go
Enzo
on.
and Cass in AEW. Why not? It's recognition.
Yeah, but go on. You were saying. Continue.
How you doing? Carmella was like a backup dancer for the fucking Lakers or some shit, right?
Yes. And she has
come a long way.
No, I will say this about Carmella, okay? A lot of people talk a lot of shit. She's even addressed it, which I feel like she wasn't even faking it when she cried. There was that one episode of SmackDown many months ago where
she won the title?
Where she was crying. No, she came out for a promo and she was saying, all you haters talk about how I should just quit and yada, 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 yada. And if you do look at her feed, a lot of people hate on Carmella. If you look at WWE's feed, I mean, that goes, you can say that about any wrestler, right? If it's a wrestler you don't like, people hate. But Carmella, it's always negative shit. You know what I mean? And I will say this, never was a Carmella fan. I mean, yeah, she's hot, sure. But I'm saying as far as like, as a wrestler goes, you know what I mean? There's far superior female wrestlers than she.
Oh my God.
But I will say this though. That match between her and Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Okay, she did eat the pin, which we all knew was going to happen. You know what I mean?
Or Becky and Charlotte.
Yes. We knew she was going to eat the pin, but I will say she actually surprised me a little bit. She actually kind of
I thought she really put up a great performance in that match.
She did. It was probably the best performance she's ever done, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel
well, I mean, Charlotte Flair could wrestle a broomstick and fucking have an amazing match.
Well, yeah.
Like she's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how SmackDown ended. What do you think is going to happen at the Rumble on the women's side?
I feel like exactly. I mean, I don't know, not as far detailed as you said with Carmella being found on the floor or whatever. I think that something's gonna happen in the Asuka versus Becky Lynch match, whether it's some fuckery that happens that causes Becky Lynch to lose, or she loses clean. Either way, she loses, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that Asuka's gonna retain somehow, and Becky's gonna enter the Rumble. She's gonna win the Rumble, and then she's gonna challenge Ronda. I mean, that's just the way I see it.
Who's going to win the men's Rumble?
I will say this though, real quick before we get into the men's.
Yeah.
I feel like you and I have made predictions in the past where we were very on point. Like, oh my God,
Yes.
called it. But at the same time, there were a lot of things that we thought was going to happen that everybody else in the wrestling universe thought was going to happen.
Wait, Cruz, are you saying that we've been wrong before?
A lot of people have been wrong, Vance. A lot of people, including us.
Cruz, we've never been wrong.
No, there was I can't remember what it was that I can't remember which pay-per-view.
Yeah, when fucking Brock retained.
That's right.
When Brock retained against, what match was it? Was SummerSlam against Roman?
I mean, there was a couple of times where he retained against Roman.
Yeah,
so
he retained every fucking time. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but I mean, I don't know. As far as the men's Rumble goes, it's so hard to say, dude. It's like, who won last year? It was
last year was Shinsuke.
Oh, it was Shinsuke. That's right. It was
Shinsuke. So SmackDown won it last year.
That's right. That's right.
Because they had Shinsuke and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I don't think SmackDown needs anyone to win this year to challenge Daniel Bryan. I think they can build a really good feud with a lot of people.
Yep.
With Daniel Bryan. I mean, I'm loving AJ versus Daniel Bryan. I can't wait for the Rumble for another match. They are so good together. Like that match.
When was the last time they fought?
They fought the last pay-per-view at TLC.
So you want to see AJ and Bryan versus each other at Royal Rumble?
At Royal Rumble. They already booked that match. That's going to be the match.
What are the other matches on that card?
On the Rumble so far, Asuka and Becky, Bryan and AJ.
Got that.
I think Shinsuke and Rusev.
I feel like you might be right. Maybe, possibly.
The Bar versus Shane McMahon and The Miz. What do you think they're doing there? You think Shane McMahon and The Miz are going to win the tag titles?
I don't know, man. I mean, if your tag partner is the best in the world, okay?
Yeah, he is.
And did you see what WWE posted on Instagram recently? They posted a collage of The Miz and his tag partners in the past and the titles that they've won. And they're like, could him and Shane O'Mac be the fifth team together?
He's won the title 4 times.
Yeah, I'd have to relook back at the here. Let me pull it up real quick.
Dude, The Miz is really good.
Oh yeah. But
so I don't know. I mean, they have to put the titles on them. That's why they're hyping this bullshit up, right?
Exactly. He was part. Okay, so John Morrison,
our buddy,
Big Show, John Cena. Here, let me see. Can you see this picture?
Cena. Him and John Cena were tag champions?
I guess so, apparently.
Mizdow. Remember Mizdow? He was good. Damian Mizdow. They both have the double belts.
Yeah.
That was great.
So, yeah, so so back to that. So The Miz and Shane O'Mac, and they're fighting the Bar, correct?
That's what you just said. So Cesaro put on a good match.
Do you think, and it's for the titles, right?
Yeah, I mean, are they gonna put the titles on Shane McMahon and fucking The Miz? That'd be crazy.
At Royal Rumble? I don't know. What do you? I mean,
I think they should. Let's shake things up on the tag division. Let's make it a complete fucking joke. So we don't get the Usos versus the Bar. I mean, I love the Usos versus the Bar every time they fight.
Hey, remember Sanity? Yeah. How about that?
They'd be so good, wouldn't they, if they actually wrestled?
Yeah. God
I just hope Sanity eventually gets maybe Sanity versus Shane McMahon and The Miz for the titles of WrestleMania.
Ooh, that could get.
Or what if the Bludgeon Brothers, are they back?
Dude, there's so many factions that you're like, what happened to these guys? So...
Yeah, the Club. How about the Club? They were a fucking amazing. They're one of the best tag teams in the world.
This is what cracks me up. They did this whole like, oh, we're doing a fresh start thing, brand new thing, and then all of a sudden they did that for like what, one show, and then that's it.
Yep.
We're making a statement, and then be gone. Did you watch NXT this week, Vance?
I caught some clips, Cruz.
Of course you did. Of course, because we're talking about. They keep recycling these fucking it's really getting kind of annoying, these promos that they keep recycling. Can't they just cut some new ones already, or at least already fucking debut them on the main rosters? But so they had Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross, right? And I guess they're bidding farewell to Nikki Cross in a way of, hey, you're gonna lose to Bianca Belair.
I think that's the way to put her out, though. Because I think Bianca Belair needs a rub in NXT. And Nikki Cross is going to put her with Sanity, which means they're going to do nothing with her.
True. Also, yes. But then they did EC3 versus Adam Cole. Bay.
Bay.
With undisputed. You know what? You keep calling Kyle O'Reilly sleazy Kyle O'Reilly.
Sleazy Kyle.
And I finally saw the sleaziness for whatever reason of all the times I've seen that, me being a fucking huge Undisputed Era fan, watching them come out together for this, I was like, oh my God, he really is sleazy.
He's so sleazy with the guitar.
Yeah, he's so sleazy. He was like extra sleazy for some reason. I was like, I totally see it now. But anyways, so, I was wondering when Nikki Cross lost to Bianca Belair, I was like, does this mean EC3 is going to win? Because like, oh, he's going to the main roster. We're going to let him win. Nah. Adam Cole Bay won, as he should have. But then the War Raiders came out, and we're going to see them versus each other. Undisputed Era.
Do you love the War Raiders?
Come on, Vance. Let's be honest here. The War Raiders are a duplication, if you will. Duplication?
A duplication.
Repeat. What's copy?
This recycled.
Recycled. What was that one tag faction?
Replicator. Replicant. They're replicants.
They're
like
replicants.
Blade Runner. Replication.
You know what I'm talking about? They're very similar to that one tag faction. Oh my god.
What tag faction?
They're just like there's something with the word Raiders in it. Oh my god, this is gonna bother me so much right now. Word
Raiders. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No, God damn it! Raiders. They're very similar tag team. Very
the Oakland
similar.
Raiders.
They're kind of like they're very Mad Max-ish. What the fuck, dude? Why this is gonna bother me so much right now?
Are you talking about the Ascension?
No, not the Ascension.
That's the Mad Max tag team, Cruz.
Oh my god, I can't remember their names. Okay, never mind.
Are they on the main roster?
No, they don't exist anymore.
They don't exist.
Okay.
Enzo and Cass.
No, never mind. Let's just forget I said that. We'll come back to that.
Okay. The War Raiders, I like the War Raiders a lot because they're like Vikings.
They are like Vikings.
And because they're like Vikings who like heavy metal. They're kind of okay, imagine this. You're at let's say a Metallica concert, okay? Because Metallica is kind of like mainstream metal. And you see these two older guys there, but they are having the most fun there. Like they're having way more fun than you, but they're older and they're headbanging and they got their devil horns up. That's the War Raiders to me. They're the old guys at a Metallica concert who are having so much fun that you're kind of jealous, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, all right, I can get behind this. So I like the War Raiders.
Okay.
They're kind of like the Legion of Doom, but more metal.
Fuck yeah! Oh, sorry.
They're just coming out war. Like that's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah. Goddamn, man.
And they can
all right.
wrestle.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
Did you figure out who this other team is that you made
Nope,
up?
nope. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
I'm gonna get a random text like 4 a.m. You're gonna be like, it's this team.
I'm literally gonna text you at 4 a.m. Vance, I remember the name.
Demolition? Is it Demolition?
No, this is gonna bother me. So I'm gonna have to ask my boyfriend because he knows. He's the one that pointed it out. He was the one that pointed it out. He's like, these guys remind me of, and I was like, oh my god, you're right. They're like very similar.
Bushwhackers.
No, you know, just never mind.
Similar.
So Vance, back to the beginning. We're Tarantinoing this podcast. We're gonna go back to the beginning now.
Like Memento. This is mementoing. We're gonna memento it. Wait, should we be in black and white right now? So they know it's the beginning?
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay. Whoa. It's that easy?
Yeah, it's that easy. Look, you're black and white now. How do you feel about that?
I'm black.
Feeling all vintage. So we asked the Going Over universe, you guys watching and or listening, who you think should sign with All Elite Wrestling. Vance, who do you want to see? You said you think that Ziggler would go, but who do you want to see sign?
Cruz, here's what I want to happen. I want Cody and Tony Khan, to get a contract with CM Punk.
Lord have mercy.
Get him involved. That puts you over the top.
If you think about it, CM Punk's beef is with WWE. So really, if he wants to come back to wrestling, he could technically do that.
Dude, you got Jim Ross. Jim Ross could go to AEW. You got fucking who's the other commentator? Jim Cornette could go to AEW. You know, they need these kind of bigger names to get them. Eric Bischoff could go to AEW. You know, we could get all these different guys. There's so many guys out there. You know, you could have Big Cass and Enzo come back. You could have fucking Ryback, the man whore beast. Man beast. Maybe he's a whore too. Who knows?
The man whore.
Yeah. You know, bring those fucking people in.
Well,
but don't make it another Impact where it's just like all like old WWE guys.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You want to kind of avoid that. But okay, so according
I want to see CM Punk. I want to see I'd love to see Pentagon. I think Pentagon would be super sick. They got Jericho. I mean, fuck. So what's the universe saying?
So the going over universe. Let's see here. @_ I got grapes says the Revival managed by Blankard.
Blankard? Who's Blankard?
I don't know. Tessa Blankard. Who's Tessa Blankard? Because someone said
Tessa Blanchard. Did
I say that wrong? It's Blankard. Is it Blanchard?
Tessa Blanchard. No, she's Tully Blanchard's daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Who's one of the original members of the Four Horsemen.
Well, Dalton on Twitter says the Revival, Tessa Blanchard. And then that's when I Got Grape said, oh, the Revival managed by Blanchard. Let's see here.
I Got Grapes.
Superfly. What?
I Got Grapes basically did to the other guy when you go on The Price is Right. And they're like, $4.95, Bob. And then the guy's like, the next, like, I Got Grapes is like, $4.96, Bob.
Oh my gosh. So let's see here. Karen Superfly says Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg would be badass. Yes. Good call.
WSK9002 says, I don't know if he has a Twitter, but there's a German wrestler named Walter that has been getting a lot of buzz as far as women go. Tessa Blanchard. That's 3 for Tessa Blanchard right now.
Cruz, I saw Walter versus Adam Cole in a gymnasium last May.
Oh wow.
Walter fought for he's in Evolve. He's this huge fucking guy, dude. He's this big. He looks like a Rocky villain.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Our favorite Belmont Ronnie Belmont.
Ronnie B.
He wants Zack Ryder, John Morrison, Shelton Benjamin, and Brian Cage.
Is Shelton Benjamin on the main roster?
I believe he is, actually.
Why are they not doing anything with him? He's amazing.
They're not doing anything with a lot of people. Case in point, at digital_freak says the Revival to see them versus the Bucks. But then at Meat Pie and Sauce, these fucking names.
We have some very interesting followers.
Prince Devitt.
Oh, Fergal.
Prince Devitt. You might know him as the original captain, if you want to call him that, of the Bullet Club. Okay, anyways. Prince Devitt, a.k.a. Finn Balor, for those who are not aware of his time at NGPW. Anyways, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, and the Revival. A lot of people saying the Revival.
Because the Revival and the Bucks were tweeting back and forth.
Oh, here's my favorite answer out of all the answers that I'm reading off right now. Store Horseman Podcast, okay, our buddies over at the Store Horseman Podcast, simply said Annie Cruz. I think I know that bitch.
Annie Cruz. Annie Elite Wrestling.
I think I know that bitch. Yep. You know what? If they have rules that don't follow WWE rules, in which case they would take somebody such as myself with a past like mine, then, you know, I will go train right now, Vance.
Cruz, I think you should go to AEW. You should call Brandy Rhodes up, be like, listen, here's the deal. And fucking lay down the law at AEW against Tessa Blanchard. Or
Yeah.
Tessa Blankard.
Like, hey man, I was reading it like I read it. Yeah.
Reading it like you read it. I just want to go back for a second to one of the answers that somebody had. I think it was Meat Pie Shoes.
Yeah.
And he said Zack Ryder. Did you know Zack Ryder was only on one episode of Raw in 2018?
Yeah.
One episode.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was the show that I went to, Vance. That was the show that I went to.
Yep. I would love to see Mojo Rawley in AEW.
Shout out to Mojo Rawley.
Who do you want to see, Cruz?
You know, as much as I keep talking about how I want to see Balor like get more, you know, get a bigger push on WWE, I feel like, is it ever going to happen now? Did he lose that chance? Because I feel like the only time he shines really on WWE is when he's the Demon King, right?
That's when he wins. Yeah.
That's when he wins. And that's when he's like the coolest. So I feel like what would happen if he said, fuck you, Vince, fuck you, WWE, I'm going to go to AEW? I wonder if I would like that more.
I mean, I could totally see that. I think they're going to push him. I think they have to. Once Brock is gone, hopefully. After
yeah, absolutely. You know, absolutely. For sure. They just have to do it the right way because it's where it doesn't feel forced. Like, oh, okay, yeah, Roman's gone, so let's just.
I would love to see Summer Rae.
Oh my god!
Bring Summer Rae back and put her in AEW. She was great.
Speaking of female wrestlers, Vance, did you hear about that controversial incident that happened in LA?
Are we talking about a certain feminine hygiene product being used as a work?
Yes.
Cruz, tell the viewers what happened.
Priscilla Kelly, okay, she actually participated in the Mae Young Classic last year, right? 2018.
Yep.
She's got an edgy look to her, right?
She's like Paige, but like if Paige was TVMA.
There you go. I'll roll with that. So Priscilla Kelly, she's at this wasn't a televised event, obviously. This is actually footage that someone took, and it got leaked, obviously, and then people
are gonna show it.
Oh, just take a look right here. Do you see that shit?
I don't want to see this, Cruz.
Yeah. She literally, so this is what's happening, Vance. She
I
literally,
can see Cruz. I don't think you need to dictate what's happening right now.
yeah, sticks her hand in her pants, pulls out a tampon, waves it around, and then here's the thing. You know, we all talk about
Cruz,
how
that
wrestling.
tampon looks rather red.
But look, notice how the bitch that's taking it has her mouth open already. Like,
Cruz,
you
you know
know,
fake sports.
I know, but if you're gonna sell it like you've got a fucking tampon down your throat. You know what I mean? Like she was just like ready and waiting, like and then like didn't even really react. Like, anyways, so ugh, Vance, just
I threw up in my mouth the entire time you were saying this whole thing.
how do you feel about this kind of stunt being done? Yeah, remember when Mankind used to take fucking socks and put it in people's mouths?
His fingers. He just put his fingers down your throat. The mandible claw.
Yeah.
But imagine if he pulled out his fucking suppository and jammed it into your mouth. Ugh, that's sick. That's just sick.
I mean,
I don't know.
Obviously it's fake, but it was very like, it's crazy. Crazy.
It was very crazy. It was very crazy.
Very crazy.
Cruz, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You are Tony Khan. You are a billionaire, and your dad is an even bigger billionaire. And you just made a wrestling promotion. What is the first thing you would do?
The first thing that I would do?
Your next show is in Vegas at the MGM Grand.
Oh, man.
What are you going to do?
I mean,
what's your main event?
My main event? Oh, shit. Who was the main event at All In? It was
it was a 6-man tag with the Bucks.
It was a tag match, right?
Kenny Omega versus like Bandito, Ray Phoenix, and
Kenny Omega.
Do you think Kenny Omega is going to AEW?
I think he's going to AEW. I don't think he's going to go to WWE. I mean, I know he's being quiet, but maybe he's being quiet for a reason.
I really want him to go to WWE, though. I think
everybody
he really
does.
shake things up.
Do you think he would? Do you think he would? Do you think he would do that?
I think anybody would go to WWE because it's every little kid's dream as they're jumping around on their sofa when they're younger to go to WWE and be a professional wrestler at WWE.
True.
You know,
I mean, I'd like to see Kenny Omega on WWE as well. I feel like, unlike a lot of the other wrestlers that have been getting buried lately, I would hope they wouldn't do that with him, especially him coming from.
Dude, what if he came back? What if he comes in at the Rumble? Well, no, he can't come in at the Rumble.
He can't.
I don't know what they would do with him. I don't know what they would do with him. If you can't debut at the Rumble, what are you gonna do?
I just want to see him with his fucking Terminator thing. Do you remember that shit? Yes. Oh man, he's like, fuck, dude. I don't know.
He's so good. Oh, Cruz.
Well, Vance. Yep.
AEW is gonna go over.
The elite.
Pretty clear.
It's pretty clear.
The elite are going over. I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be fucking amazing.
They got their next show. Their next show is gonna be in Vegas.
We should go.
Oh,
double or nothing.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, double or nothing. Let's go. I'm all in, Vance. I'm all in.
Yeah.
MGM, baby. Yep. I'm down for that shit.
I'm a card-carrying member of the MGM.
I mean, a lot of people talk shit because they're like, in order for them to thrive, they need to have the fan base to help back them and this and that and the other thing and blah, blah. But the thing is, there are a lot of people that are fans. How many people watch NJPW? I mean, yeah, a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like, especially if they're going to get
sold out. They sold out Chicago in 3 minutes. 20,000 seats.
People were saying, we bet you can't sell 10,000 tickets. They sold out within the first few minutes, and they sold over 10,000 tickets. So
I'm excited to see where this thing goes. There's so much potential. There's so much talent. So I'm super excited about that.
Incredible amount of talent. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. So pretty stoked about that. fuck, I guess this show is going over, Vance. I think we're gonna talk about our predictions for the Royal Rumble next week.
Rumble of Royals will be next week. Also, we'll be talking about all the breaking AEW news.
Oh yeah, because there's just
there's going to be all kinds of shit coming out over the next 2 weeks.
Oh, there's so much shit. Did you hear about the supposed alleged thing where because it was in Jacksonville, right? Is where they had the announcement, the press conference or whatever, and people showing up to the show. I think it was SmackDown that was being filmed.
SmackDown was like 30 minutes away, they said.
Yeah. People were showing up in AEW swag, and security was telling them you can't come in here. What?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm telling you, Vince does best when it's competition, and for him to have another competition with a billionaire, he's up against a billionaire again.
Yeah, dude, motherfuckers have money, and the thing is, they have a lot of. It's not like, and here's the thing, it's not like they started AEW with a bunch of fucking no names. You know what I mean? These are like talented, big name wrestlers in their own right that wanted to start something fresh and something new. And like you said, the Young Bucks turned down WWE. Who else turned down WWE?
Cody, Hangman Page.
Hangman Page. Yeah, all these people turned it down because they obviously believe in this. I believe in it. So I'm curious to see where it all goes. I'm curious to see how Double or Nothing goes. We should definitely go to that show, by the way. That's in March.
Absolutely. I think it's May.
Let's do it. Oh, May. Whatever. May. We should still do it. I can just drive there. Fucking Vegas. Get the fuck out of here.
You drive, I'll fly.
You fly, I drive. Let's do it. All right, Vance. Well, where can everybody find you online?
Cruz, they can find me online at That Guy Vance on all your favorite social media platforms. Except Tinder. I'm off of that now.
You can find me at Annie fucking Cruz on Twitter, at Annie Cruz on Instagram. Of course, you can follow us at Going Over Podcast on Instagram, as well as at Going Over Pod on
Cruz,
the Twitter.
We need to announce what you're doing next week.
Oh, yeah! You guys, if you listen to SiriusXM, you can tune in to Busted Radio with David LaGreca. I'm going to be doing Busted Open. What did I say?
Busted Radio.
Did I say Busted
Radio?
No, Busted Open.
Busted Radio.
Son of a bitch.
Busted Open Radio on the Fight Network, right? Or Fight Station?
Yes, that's going to be on Monday. Tune in. I will be calling in while it's live. You can check my social media for the time slots on when I will be posting.
Who's going to be on that show, Cruz? Anybody?
Tommy Dreamer, Vance.
Tommy, the hardcore legend Dreamer. Cruz, this is going to be a great show. And now they have from one hardcore legend to another.
Oh my God, Vance. I see what you did there. Hey.
All right, Cruz.
All right, Vance.
Hardcore, let's wrap this up.
All right, this is Cruz the Crusher going over and out.
And this is Stone Cold Steve Vance saying good night and good luck.